charge. I can have an all-out fight with that champion duelist Clorend, right? I've got to admit, that's one of the most enticing offers I've ever received. When I privately sparred with her last time, she was obviously holding back.
Hey! Don't you understand?
Oh? Sounds like the Hydro Archon wants to lecture me on the ways of the Opera House. Then why don't you duel me too? I'm the kind of student that learns best in the heat of battle.
Alas, it would appear that communication with the defendant is going poorly, and we have made very little progress. In that case, let me explain everything from the very beginning again. The goal of this...
That case had nothing to do with him! Huh? What's going... Why is she...
I told you it couldn't be one of the Fatui.
Miss Navia, this is the second time you've interrupted the court proceedings. I only tolerated your behavior last time because you were able to provide the court with a key eyewitness. But that was an exception rather than standard court protocol. I can very well...
Oh, please. Did you ever think I had any respect for this place's pointless theatrics? We can put that discussion aside for now. I'm not here to argue with you. And if my charges prove true, then Tartaglia here will be proven...
Oh, a young lady has charged in and offered to clear my name. How fascinating. Well, I'd gotten half bored to death by all these rules and procedures anyway, so I'll take you up on that offer. So, Your Honor, is there nothing else for me to do now?
You may take a seat for now in the audience, but that doesn't mean the suspicions against you have been lifted. Now then, Miss Navia, who is the person you would like to charge instead?
That person is... Marcel, the head of Confrérie of Cabrières!
Huh? What confrérie?
I've heard of them, but weren't they
Oh, is this going to be a friends to enemies type situation?
Please let me remind you, Miss Navia, that charging someone is an and if the charge fails, depending on the circumstances, you may also...
Yes.
In that case, I declare the charge to be valid. Miss Navia and attorneys, please take your places. Members of the guards, please contact Mr. Marcel. Mr. Marcel, you will not require an attorney. Is that correct?
Apologies. It all just happened so... I think an attorney won't be necessary. This is probably...
Very well. In that case, since...
I would like to take everyone back to 3 years ago. Only through elucidating what really happened in that...
Navia, do you really think... Come on. Why would I do... If that's enough to make me a...
Exactly correct, Your Honor. I must refresh everyone's memory about that...
I see. In which case, I will recount the findings about that case as originally recorded by Maison Gardiennage. On the day of the murder, Spina di Rosula hosted a large banquet in a countryside estate owned by the Confrérie of Cabrières. During the banquet, all attending guests heard 2 gunshots from the courtyard. When the guests arrived at the scene, they found the primary suspect, Callus, holding a gun, while his acquaintance Jacques lay dead. The guards' investigation did not recover any other firearms from the scene. As a result, they concluded the suspect did not dispute this conclusion, and also declined to defend himself in court. Callus was defeated by champion... These are the known...
The one with the in truth, the third person shot Jacques. After that, the true culprit turned the third person into water, erasing all traces of him from the scene. Thank you for this. However, we should revisit the case now that... The testimony of the victim's family confirms that Jacques had thoughts of assassinating Callus when he set out for the banquet. However, in the end, he reconsidered, and instead shared everything with Callus, hoping to seek the latter's protection. assassin first shot Jacques, then turned to shoot Callus, only for Callus to wrestle the gun from him and kill him instead. A pile of clothing was found at the scene. The guards once believed they were used by Jacques as a costume to disguise himself. But since it was raining that day, the culprit was confident that they could use the rain to wash away all traces of their dissolved accomplice. Realizing this, the true culprit caused the hired assassin to dissolve into water, leading everyone to believe Callus was responsible for Jacques' murder. This is the true version of events.
So that's what happened. Wait, you're telling me something as dangerous as water from the
What a great theory. It also explains Callus.
Mr. Marcel, you are the one being charged with the crime.
But I think I agree with everything Navia just said. In fact, there was nothing in.
Then, may I ask some questions? One, do you.
I'm afraid not. I may not have the evidence with me, but I know where I could go. We should be able to find him at, considering the serial disappearance.
That makes sense.
Why do I feel...
Maybe she's scared of embarrassing herself.
Alternatively, she's become more diligent.
My second question has to do with the ensuing duel. If the truth is indeed as you... Then why didn't Mr. Callus explain himself in court? If he
I've thought about this too, and the answer is actually pretty simple. He felt there were things that were more important to him. The dissolving power of water from the primordial sea is an important secret for the true culprit of the serial. My father could have exposed it for all to see, but he chose to take it to the grave. At that time, Spina di Rosula was in dire straits, and his reputation had already been shattered. He had no guarantee that going forward with the truth would allow the culprit to be brought to justice. What was certain, however, was that it would paint a gigantic target on my back.
Boss once told me that Demoiselle had already been selected as the next target.
What?
If the secret had gotten out, the culprit would have fought an all-out war with Espina right there and then. I wouldn't have been the only one in danger. All of us would have stood to lose our lives. Of course, the guards might eventually figure out the truth of the matter and determine that we were... But what good would that do? How can a hollow verdict protect... Had this opera house ever given my father any kind of confidence in its brand of justice? But by staying silent, we retained the ability to deter our opponents and continue the stalemate. I was able to become Spina di Rosula's president, and once I have figured out the truth and stepped up to the challenge, I will do what this opera house cannot. And
So, you mean to say...
That's right.
Do you have any proof?
Of course. All you need is to ask. I don't need your apology, your guilt, or your support from the shadows. You don't have to do... But since he entrusted his will to you, Clorand, you should tell us the truth about his sacrifice.
So, during the duel, did you believe that Callus was intending to die?
Yes, as a champion duelist, I've fought many battles and taken a countless number in my line of work. I've seen just one look. I hereby swear on my name and honor as a champion duelist that Mr. Callus never intended...
Since that's your testimony, I have no more questions.
I concur. However, Miss Navia, you still have not explained the link.
Right? What she said was fascinating.
Wait, weren't they just talking about the serial?
Of course, Your Honor. The two cases are connected. In my father's case, the culprit intended to kill both Jacques and Callus. As a result, they planned to act after hearing 2 gunshots. And at the end of Linny's trial, the culprit also only dissolved the victim in front of everyone because they realized they were at risk of being identified. The culprit could only time their actions so precisely. Coincidentally, Marcel attended both the banquet and the trial.
So that's why you suspected me. I'm used to it, though.
No need to appeal to
I won't try to refute your points one by one, but even if on top of that, does a person have to be physically
Know what she can say to that.
I know that even with that, you might still think you can reduce the list of suspects with some Alas, who won't feel at least a little hurt by an act? But if I were to dismiss this completely, you'd also think I'm not being considerate of your feelings. Ah, well, do you know what the biggest flaw in your
I suppose you're gonna tell me.
It's timing again. I'm a businessman by trade. In addition, I left my... But the
I do apologize, demoiselle.
No, it's not your fault. I'm sure.
Is there anything else you'd like to say? You can also take a look at my border entry records, or ask my friends and family when I left Snezhna. Could those records and testimonies do something to appease the unspeakable?
Seems like she got the...
At this rate, Nagi will be convicted for fault.
I think you've done a superb job of dissecting it, but aren't you going against all of his wish? He wished for you to become... Once you've learned to be more considerate of others' feelings, and to stop rushing headlong into...
This isn't just about me. And the biggest difference between me and the rest of the victims is that I still have the ability to search for the truth. While that same agency has locked the people whose families were destroyed by synth abuse, many people's images are flashing before... And whose image? Is it a man named... Oh, so you do know that name.
I'm merely surprised you'd suddenly say the name of someone
I was waiting for you to say that.
No time to lose. Tidal wave.
Don't be scared! Whoa! The floor is going up! Is it because of this mechanism in the middle? That guy really prepared a lot of stuff for this place. Go up, but Paimon doesn't see a way. Let's take a look around. Maybe we'll find a hidden mechanism that'll show us the way up. The water level is rising. Now we can swim to the top. But this is still a ways away from where we need to go.
No pain, no gain.
Go get it, Uruguay! Uruguay, you're up!
Strike a pose!
No time to lose. Shouldn't let your guard down. Who's next?
Alley-oop! Mighty mythical beast!
Stay put!
Brace yourself. This is gonna hurt. No time to lose. No time to lose.
Now the path is clear! Let's go!
Tidal wave! Shouldn't let your guard down. Brace yourself. This is gonna hurt.
Strike a pose!
Stay put! Ready, go! Oh, yeah! Oh!
Shower me with praise!
No time to lose. Shouldn't let your guard down. Brace yourself. This is gonna hurt.
Strike a pose!
Childe, you're up! Don't be scared! Childe, you're up! After all that, we finally made it to the innermost sanctum. Though, as expected, the mastermind isn't here. That's right. Then let's hurry up and find... Oh, look! There's an important-looking basin over here, and it's full of water! That means this is where they make all the synth! If you dilute it with normal water, you'll get synth, but the pure stuff can dissolve a human... Paimon will take notes on this incriminating evidence. Let's see what's written here. Nothing escapes Detective Pipe. Callus. Navia's father. Oh, this seems to be an investigation This should prove the existence of the third person, right? We still have not determined the exact content of the key information Callus has passed on to certain members of his organ. The old dog's a real menace to deal with. Even if he abides by the promise he's made to us, he will still have the upper hand. He can act whenever he wants to make our lives miserable. The only option left is to remove him from the picture entirely. I concur. Let's send someone to kill him. He won't declare war as long as we don't touch Navia. Oh, seems like we've got a bunch of correspondence between the higher-ups. They're all just so evil. What's all this? Aw, it's a bunch of really cute things. Pink accessories, a hair tie, a necklace, even a makeup box. Oh, Paimon sees it too, but why are all these cute things labeled with different girls' names? Huh? You mean the girls from the serial disappearances? And then they were turned in, and all the boxes of things. These names. What's this over here? Looks like some kind of place. Experiment number 16 aims to verify Jacob Ingold's research conclusions on the primordial sea and use his theory as a foundation to achieve The experiment was a failure. No individual managed to resurface from the water from the primordial sea. Female specimens 22, 20... Sorry, Traveler. Paimon will try her best. It's just that... How can someone write something that terrible in such a matter-of-fact tone? You read the rest. Paimon's too scared to keep going. So that's why he did all of these experiments. Wait, did he really think he'd be able to find a way just by dissolving people over and over? That's just insane! Huh? Isn't that the name you heard by the fountain? Paimon thought he was an eyewitness in the serial disappearances case. Ah, you mean Vache is the one who did all of these... experiments? So that's it! No, that's not it either! If that's the case, why would he want people to resurface from the water? In any case, Paimon will write it all. Whoa! There's so much synth here! And so many bottles of ingredients that probably just contain the waters of the primordial sea. Mixing in progress. Ready? Whoa! There's even fruit-flavored synth? Yep, it's super. We've looked at almost everything here, and it seems like our theories were spot on. Yeah, we haven't found anything that reveals... No wonder even Neuvillette wasn't able to find anything. That way, even if we bring all this back to the opera, we won't be able to identify the true culprit. Sure thing. You take that side and Paimon will take this. Really? Let Paimon see! Vinier. Isn't that Vache's lover's name? Then... Aw. It's just a normal diary chronicling their love story. So many! A whole page's worth! But the final name she decided on... Marcel! Wait, but... Marcel's pretty old. Has this case been going on for so long that he's Vache and Vinier's grown son? Hey! Paimon's still at...
And whose image do you see? Is it a man named Vache? Oh, so you do know that name.
I've merely...
I was waiting for you to...
Navia! We're back!
As expected of my partner.
Just how often do you intend to flout the...
It's all right, Monsieur Nervalette. Given their confidence...
But the truth of it, Marcel, is that you've always been Vache.
Huh?
We've investigated your lair and we already know everything! After your lover, Vinier, was dissolved, you kept abducting young women to experiment on the whole... You even created Marcel as a new identity and destroyed all records of your past as Vache!
So that's it. Even the villains, and with that, Marcel's motive has now...
This information regarding your past also dismantles your prior timing defense. Well, Marcel, do you know where you went wrong? You fixated your gaze on the lover that passed away, instead of paying attention to the living people around you. So, you never noticed how we changed, or how we grew as individuals.
You also never understood Boss's real expectations for his daughter.
Or our determination to see things through.
Your determination?
Mr. Marcel, please speak up now if you would like to defend yourself. Otherwise, the trial will move on to the next stage.
Do you really think I wanted to do any of this? Pay attention to you? What for? Have you ever paid attention to me? Ever empathized with my pain? Ever known how it feels to watch the love of your life dissolve right in front of your eyes? No one helped me. No one even believed me. All those decades ago, even the officers from the Maison Gardiennage were laughing at me. They said there's no way a human being can turn into water. So I must have gone mad from grief. Vinier's death was brushed away by all of you as if it didn't matter. Well, now you know, don't you? Ha! Well, you only have yourselves to blame. You set up this ornate opera house in pursuit of your so-called justice, your beloved drama, while turning a blind eye to the suffering of the people. Vinier is dead. We promised each other that we would always be together, wherever she goes. But I'm not from this blasted place, so I can't be dissolved, no matter what I do.
Hey, is that water from the primordial sea that he's drinking?
I can't dissolve. Can't do you all see? I can't go, I can't follow. So if I can't go where she is, what choice do I have but to try to bring her back? I did all of that, and in the end, that accursed Callus still got the better of me. I spent my entire life living on pins and needles, only to get stabbed by his idiot daughter at—
The suspect is exhibiting signs of mental distress.
Don't touch me! Don't anybody come near me! Vinyère, please, Vinyère, don't think back.
At this point, the verdict of this trial is clear. With Mr. Marcel's conviction, the charges against Mr.
Fine by me. I was in a bad mood, but after a show like that...
Traveler, please submit all the evidence you have collected to the guards, so that I might review and summarize the truth behind the scene. The man now known as Marcel was originally named Vacher, and worked as an adventurer with his partner and lover, Vinyère. During an underwater expedition, Vinyère accidentally came into contact with water from the primordial sea, and was dissolved in front of Vacher as a result. Vacher learned of the primordial water's existence through the work of others, and began to kidnap young women for research, with the goal of discovering a method to restore Vinyère back to life. To cover his tracks, he invented the new alias of Marcel, and began to operate a business in Poisson. During the course of his research, Vacher discovered that a diluted concoction of water from the primordial sea can induce feelings of euphoria, and began to manufacture and market synth. However, as he accumulated wealth to fund his continued research and expanded the scope, he came into conflict with Spina di... After exchanging blows with Spina di Rosula for many years, Vacher decided to assassinate their president, Callus. Although the assassination did not go as Vacher expected, he was able to turn Callus into the murder suspect by dissolving the assassin he sent to the scene. And just recently, Vacher attempted to frame Linny as the culprit of the serial disappearances case, using a simile. However, his attempt to frame Linny failed, and the power of water from the primordial sea became public knowledge. This case also exposed enough of Vacher's machinations that he was eventually successfully charged in court. Thus concludes the enigmatic history of the serial disappearances case, with the truth revealed to all. The Oratrice will now deliver the final verdict. According to the judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale, Mr. Vacher is... guilty.
Guards! Take Vacher away.
Good. It's what he deserves.
With that, the serial disappeared.
We really just witnessed history. Who would have thought the true culprit would be such a...
Yippee! We helped Navia bring the... He's hurt so many innocent people and now he's finally... Huh? Are you okay?
Demoiselle, you were absolutely brilliant.
The day our late boss had always hoped for has finally come. You can rest easy now, knowing...
Yeah. See, Papa? Spina di...
Well now, hasn't this been a most delicious piece of drama? The villain has been caught, justice has been served, past wrongs have been righted, and it's a big ol' happy ending. Since it's been such a great show, I'll just let the false accusations against me slide. Either way, I've still got some business.
Please wait just one moment, Mr. Tartaglia.
What now?
According to court protocol, since this trial was initiated due to a charge against you, a verdict must also be made regarding the initial charge before the trial can conclude.
Oh, come on. Is this really necessary? Haven't you already caught the real criminal? Isn't it time for side characters like me to exit stage left?
Please respect the laws of Fontaine. This has always been the rule.
All right, but this sure is a lot of hassle. All I need to do is stand over there, right? Let's just get this over with.
Through evidence presented in the public trial that was just held, it has been established that Mr. Tartaglia has no direct connection to the serial disappearances case. The guilty party has been identified, and thus it is logical to suppose Mr. We now turn to the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale to render the final... According to the judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale, guilty.
What?
Hey! That's not funny! Didn't you just say I'm supposed to be innocent? What's with this verdict? Is your justice machine malfunctioning?
Huh? This has never happened before. The Oratrice actually returned a different verdict from the Chief Justice.
I mean, have you ever heard of an innocent Fatui Harbinger? Do you think the Oratrice might have just convicted him on general principle?
But weren't the charges about the serial disappearances case? No matter what else he's guilty of, it shouldn't affect the verdict in this case, right?
The judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinal is, by law, the final verdict of the court. We must accept the guilty verdict. Guards, please take the suspect into custody per court protocol.
So this is how justice is done in Fontaine. What a joke. You've got your rules. Well, I've got mine too!
I am sorry. If you have been wronged, we will find the truth. But the rules of the court must be upheld.
Hey, Monsieur Novelette, what's going on?
Apologies. This is also the first time I've encountered such a situation. However, according to the rules established at the conception of Fontaine's court system, the Oratrice's judgment is the final verdict of the court. All I do is follow court procedure. As for why the Oratrice arrived at the conclusion it did, you should probably ask someone more knowledgeable than me.
I don't know.
What does Lady Farina mean by that?
She says she has—
Yeah, so are the...
My dear, don't tell me.
But the way she looked just...
However, and if you thought Childe had nothing to do with everything, all shall... Now, having said that...
So she chose...
So you're saying...
She probably just put on that performance to save face. As for the truth, however, please...
All right.